Yuji Itadori is really interesting for me because it was a character that necessarily I didn't fully care for in the moment, and this is a subject that I was talking about in the last video, but I wanted to actually fully go a lot more in depth for this subject, right? So with Yuji Itadori, I felt like he wasn't as interesting as everyone else surrounding him. Like everything else surrounding him felt way more interesting, whether it be Sukuna, Gojo, Megumi, even the villains around him as well, like all the whole villain group that's all in season 1. And I felt like it was like a lot of substance. It felt a little bit mid, at least in my opinion, at the very beginning. And then as we slowly get through the season, it goes from like being sort of like a bit mid to like really fucking good by the time we get to the end of season 1. And the time where I really get into it is basically by the time where him and Todo sort of come together, and then we sort of get all these amazing cool moments as well as all this development. But also it's not to say like I don't enjoy the moment where it's him and Toad Boy, and just seeing from his perspective of how someone can just get used and abused in their moment of need, and how vulnerable someone can be, and how gullible they turn into when they're at that point and stage of life. And then with Itadori, when it seems like no one is around, or no one is with you, or no one is for you, and everyone's like sort of downing you, like for when it's Mahito as well, Sukuna just straight up laughing in his fucking face because of how dire of a situation he's in, and how basically it seems like he's fucked in this moment of time. I don't know, man, it's just something with the brotherly love that shit just sort of gets me. It really does get me, of how Todo as well as Yuji sort of come together, and it's sort of almost like how Todo has this imaginary thing that always happens or occurs with him, and he just goes into like this little world that he just makes up for like a few seconds outside, but it seems like a few hours or fucking millennia inside his head, and then sort of you just sort of going with it, and then sort of it just feels like an almost natural brotherhood thing that happens when we get at the end of the season. And then there's a continuation, and maybe even conclusion where it comes to season 2 with Todo as well as Yuji, and then as well as Mahito out there. It seems like we made an almost borderline full circle with these characters, whether it be Yuji's pillars as well as Yuji's maybe hatred or hatred pillar when it comes to Mahito, and then as well as the people that he used to have around him that aren't really there anymore. Maybe like, well, Megumi's still there, but like you still have Gojo that's sealed at this moment in time, the bar that is potentially super fucking dead, and then Todo, who's probably going to be put out of commission for the case, as well as Nanami dying out there. And just seeing where things go from there, as well as if Todo's talk really sort of gets through to him. But it seems like it was like both Mahito as well as Todo's talk gets through to him, with one Todo saying like to keep moving forward, as well as all these people that died or didn't really get died or really get defeated, as long as we keep going, keep continuing being a Juju sorcerer. And then with Mahito, him just sort of agreeing with him like, hey, I am like you, and I want to just completely destroy every single curse out there until I basically come to dust, or until I die. And then with you personally, I'm gonna keep, and with you personally, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna keep killing you even if I have no purpose, so meaning is not found for hundreds of years, just for the actions he's already done to him in his life, and how much he's put him through, and how much pain he's already done to him all the way up to this point. Feeling like there's like sort of some sort of connection between him and Geto, like he's sort of almost in the same position that he was in, or maybe even the same position that multiple other sorcerers get to that point, or get to that level where like everyone around them is dying, and then they come to a certain conclusion about how they want to live their life as a Juju sorcerer, whether it be changing the cycle and doing it a different way, just like Geto, or maybe just continuing the cycle itself and continue doing what you're doing, like a Nanami or like a Gojo. And then the sad part is, it just feels like how you're gonna break, right? Because I don't think it's like, maybe it's not like a good solution to it. It's like, how are you gonna break? Are you gonna break into 1,000 pieces and be reconstituted to something else, or are you gonna break and be just broken for the rest of your fucking time here? And it was nice seeing Yuji get a lot more stronger, as well as a lot more powerful, so he's able to actually do something, or do something about the situation he keeps getting put into, and the people he feels like he can't keep saving all the time. Because from what is like sort of betrayed, it feels like a lot of uselessness, at least he feels from himself. And then now sort of him having that power, that strength, by the time we get to the end of the Mahito fight, of just him being able to actually like fully like get him the fuck out of here. And I'm an anime watcher only, I might even fucking go around and watch the manga, but I don't know, from what I've seen, it seems like, I don't know if he'll find obviously fulfillment for when he kills him, but like I don't know how he's gonna act like all this way forward, you know, like he's gonna be a lot more joyful or a lot less joyful in the cases. And then with him finally reaching that make or break point right now at the end of Shibuya Soda. So again, that's pretty much all I gotta say for now. So thank you guys for watching, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.